The historical landscape area of Kennockstone and Tanky Lake represents an area of enclosed land to the north of the Llangennith Road, bounded by common land, Ryers Down to the east and Llanmaddock Down to the west, while to the north lies Cheriton Wood. The area formed part of the manor of Pryorstown within the parish of Llangennith. This in turn was located within the Welsh medieval Cwmbrid of Gwere, within the cantref of Eginoch. During the reorganisation of the post-medieval period, the area formed part of the Hundred of Swansea, within the county of Glamorgan. Little specifically is known of the area's early history. It formed an outlying part of Llangennith. The earliest known features include a bank which appears to be associated with the late prehistoric hill fort, the Bulwark, a medieval chapel of ease at Churchyard Penid, the foundations of which had been removed by the late 19th century, and Stormy Castle, is reputedly the site of the Llangennith Castle, taken by the Welsh in 1252. No trace of this medieval castle site is currently known, despite its remains, which included a square building with round towers on the north side and two pigeon houses on adjoining plots of land, apparently surviving to a height of 20 foot during the 19th century. This may be a misplaced reference in the fact relating to the castle at Llangennith, which would be a better fit for the description. In Kennockstone, there is a farmhouse, and Kennockstone Farmhouse is a 17th century farmhouse originally built at Kennockstone, Llangennith, Gower, and is currently located at St Fagan's National History Museum in Cardiff, Wales. It is a Grade II listed building. The house was built around 1610 and extended over a period. Inside can be seen an example of a box bed or a cupboard bed and a sleeping platform over the fireplace, typical of houses in the Gower Peninsula at this period. Its exterior walls are painted a bright red. The original pigment included oxblood and lime and may have been intended as a kind of charm against witches. Another theory is that it simply showed that the family were rich enough to be able to afford this type of pigment. The main living room or kitchen is an addition dating from around 1680, as is the wooden staircase and the sleeping area above it. The walls of the dining room are painted with a stenciled decoration of a type which predates the general use of wallpaper. This room was used as the interior of Captain Blamey's cottage in the filming of the 2015 drama series Poldark. The farmhouse was donated to the museum, then called the Welsh Folk Museum, in 1951 by its then owners, Mr. J.B. Rogers. It was one of the first properties to be rebuilt at the museum, which opened in 1948, and finance for carrying out the work was provided by the profits from the 1951 Festival of Britain. The farm buildings that originally stood by the house were not originally, but were added when they were donated to the museum in the early 2000s and relocated to St Fagan's. As I'm looking at Kennockstone on the old LiDAR maps, I've managed to find all the old known places. Kennockstone is on there, Tanky Lake Moor, all Cheriton, and basically all the ones that you would expect to find. Also, I will be sharing a video showing you just how big this hill is, and I did say I wonder if there's any giant's graves in there. Well, on this old map it's clearly marked as cairns, and there is 1, 2, 3 cairns just on Llanmaddock Hill alone, which is the hill that I will be showing in the video. So make sure you do watch till the end because you'll be seeing it. So it's just fascinating to me. I've also managed to find the castle that what the official narrative is that they don't know where it is, but there might be like they thought that they knew, that there was 2 pigeon posts and whatnot on the castle. I've managed to find a castle marked on the map, but as I'm looking, on the LiDAR, it doesn't show that there's anything there. You can't see like any structure. I mean, it could have been, and they've just completely like destroyed the lines of it, but I'm not too sure. I'm going to show the picture anyway. so you can make your own mind up. And please do, you know, if you can find anything, please do let me know. Now we will move on to Rosilly. The historic landscape area of Lower Rosilly enclosed coastal strip covers the extent of enclosed land between the high watermark of Rosilly Bay and Rosilly Down. This is a narrow coastal strip north of Rosilly village to the burrows at Hill End, and includes the deserted medieval settlement and associated glebe land. The full extent of the besanded settlement is unknown and therefore may extend beyond the boundaries of this character area. References of the 7th to 10th century in the Book of Llandaff refer to two possible ecclesiastical estates considered to lie within the parish of Rosilly. The exact location of these estates is, however, unknown and can only be conjectured. The westernmost estate is believed to be associated with the monastery of St. Simwell. Confusion as to the exact monastic and ecclesiastical history of Rosilly arises from the presence of two churches, one in Rosilly village, St Mary's, and the other located in this area and now covered by sand. Local tradition states that the doorway of the present church originally belonged to the besanded church, giving it an earlier date than St Mary's, its Romanesque style dating to the 12th century. Suggestions that this was an original lower village which moved up to the plateau as a result of sand disposition are, however, unproven, and it is possible that the two churches could have existed at the same time. There is reference to the Landemore, Rosilly, the Great and the Lesser in the translation of Royce Merrick's Morganae Archaeographia. Yet, as there were two known estates, this may refer to these, making the meaning of a lower and upper village tenuous. It is thought that the area became besanded in the 14th century, a time when many other places around the Gower coast met the same fate. Evidence suggests that this happened quickly and suddenly in this area. Excavations during the early 1980s revealed the church to be of a Romanesque plan, this style dating it to 1200s. Wall paintings of red zinc foils and black tendrils of fairly late date were discovered, which indicate use of a church over a number of years. Occupational evidence from the area relates to the remains of a house also excavated and two middens containing food remains, a bone comb, an iron key and pottery dating to the 12th, 13th centuries. The assertion that the besanded remains constitute a village is debatable, given the limited excavation and identification of buildings. It is possible that this settlement may have been a monastic grange, probably belonging to the Knights of St John, along with the rectory and the glebe. However, hamlets listed under Rosilly parish by Royce Merrick include Down in Rosilly, which may indicate post-dissolution settlement of the rectory area and land north of that subject to the besandment survey of the area. A geophysical survey of this area revealed the remains of further structures around both the church and the old rectory. A cemetery connected with the church is attested by the exposure of a number of human remains in 1949. The rectory existing today was constructed in 1850 within an older enclosure. Its predecessor was described as two rooms upon a floor and lofted through a barn and small outhouses under one and the same roof. There are ruins of other outbuildings in the vicinity, declared uninhabitable by 1835. The earlier house was repaired and occupied by 1840. No house is indicated on the map of 1845, though the site is described as a parsonage. The field pattern remaining today remains little changed since the 19th century. Now I'm going to show you what I found where King Arthur's stone is marked on the map. and I found this on the LiDar. And obviously I've been there myself, so I know it's an extreme feat to get across Cairns Bryn. There's wild ponies all there. It's beautiful, and it is like a quiet. If you don't know where you're going, you would never find it. You know, it's not like you can't see it from afar, and it's like you can just tell that it's not like, it's just it's magical. The land there is magical, and it's like you can imagine there being many cairns along there. Like I pointed out on the land, there's so many rolled like mounds in the ground, you know, and there's no need for them. And it makes you think, well, what if we're walking over them right now? You know, and they try and hide it. You know, they put shrubs in and whatnot, but you can only hide it so far. And there was so much pink granite around there as well. You know, it was honestly, I could have spent the whole day just around there. And it is really like the terrain up there. It's so unusual, and there's a big like lake in the middle of it as well. So you got to be careful because some of it is quite marshy. But anyway, I'm going to show the photo, and you know, I will be doing another video about Llangennith and like Reynoldston, showing what I found about the cairns up there through the old newspaper articles. I'm not going to put it all into one video. I'll leave you something to look forward to. So I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very much. Thank you for being part of my channel. Thank you for being part of my journey, part of the madness. I hope you can take something from this. If you've got anything to contribute, please let me know. You know, and if anything you want me to look into, also drop it in the comments, let me know. Sending lots of love, lots of light. Take care.